Hi guys, in today's video we are going to discuss about the network topology and the different types of topology. So let us first understand what is a topology. So topology can be defined as a map of a network. Physical topology describes where the cables run and where the workstations, nodes, routers and gateways are located. So networks are usually in bus, ring, star or mesh topologies. So basically the geometrical arrangement of a network, how the different devices, physical devices are connected to each other. So the representation is called the topology. So we can have the different types of equipments in the network, cables, routers and other sort of network equipments, other sort of network devices. So how they are interlinked or connected, so the fashion in which they are arranged or in which they are set up and deployed, so that representation and setup is called the topology. So the different arrangements, on the basis of the different arrangements, we can categorize the topology as bus topology, ring topology, star topology and mesh topology. So let us see all these one by one. So we have so and so categories in the topology. We also do have different ones, but these are the major categories of topology. So let us first talk about the mesh topology. Here is the representation of how the different stations in the mesh topology are connected. So we can see that each of the station is connected to some other network with a dedicated link. That is, herein we can see that each device or station or node or computer system is connected with the other device with an end-to-end connection. So here are some facts about the mesh topology. Every device has a point-to-point link to the other device. So every device would be having a dedicated link to the other device. If each physical link allows communication in both the direction, that is the communication would be allowed both ways, then we require n-1 by 2 links. So if we consider that n are the number of nodes, like in the previous diagram, in this diagram we can see that there are 5 stations or 5 nodes, then the value of n will be 5. So the total number of links that we require becomes n-1 by 2. So the example is telephone regional office. So in how in a telephone regional office the different equipments are connected to each other. So same is the arrangement in the mesh topology. We can see certain advantages and disadvantages of mesh topology. So advantages contain less congestion, because we will be having a end-to-end connection, so there will not be any congestion in the network. Then more secure it is. Failure of one link would not be affecting the other. Fault is easy to understand or easy to find. Then disadvantage becomes each device requires n-1 physical input-output link. So the cabling is very much here. That is why costly also, and installation and configuration is complex. It becomes complex when we are using certain type of cables. Then another type is star topology. In such topology we can see that each of the station is not connected to each other but is connected to a central hub. So like mesh topology, in star topology there is no one-to-one or dedicated connection in between the devices, but each station or device would be connected to the hub. So that means the information would be sent to the hub first, and then in return the hub will be connecting to the another device. So we can see that each device has a dedicated point-to-point link to the central controller called hub. Herein each device will be linked to the hub and not to each other. Most popular topology used for networks. So this kind of arrangement is used in most of the networks. Signals from the sending computer go to the hub and are then retransmitted to all the computers in a network. So first of all, the sender would be sending the information to the hub, that is the signal would be sent to the hub, and then hub then would be retransmitting those signals to the authenticate user or receiver. So advantages and disadvantages contain: less expensive than the mesh because not more connections or links will be required. Robustness, because if one link fails, it does not affect the other. So in this arrangement also, if one link is not working, if one of the devices is not working, then it will not be affecting any other workstation. And disadvantages: failure of central hub deactivate the entire system. Now if in this kind of system, if the hub is not working, or if hub fails to work, then the entire system will fail, because every device will be dependent on the hub itself. Another type of topology is bus topology. So herein we can see the arrangement is like there is a base line or a base cable, we can say the foundation cable, which is referred to as the cable line, and each of the station is connected to this base cable using the drop line and is connected via the tap. So we can see here that in bus topology, it is a multi-point network. A single cable acts as a backbone to link all the devices in network. Each node is connected to the backbone cable by a drop cable, and when a node sends a message, it is being received by all other nodes in the network that lies between the communicating nodes. So here in the diagram we can see that the backbone cable, that is the base cable that we have, would be having multiple taps in between. So it can be seen easily that the different stations are connected to the same base line, and if one station want to send to the third station, then that particular station would be first the message would be first received by the second station, and then it will be received by the third station. So the message in this way is transmitted to each of the device that lies in between the sending and the receiving end. Now we can see the disadvantage and advantage of bus topology. So it is easy to install, less cable is required in this arrangement also, and it is efficient for small network. Now disadvantages are: it is not suitable for large network, because if the signal would be carrying in such a base line or backbone cable, then some of the signals is transformed into heat, and then there may be the chances of signal failure or the weak signals. So these are not suitable for the larger networks. Difficult reconnection and fault isolation. It is slow. If we add other devices, then it will be difficult for connecting and the new devices in such an arrangement, and it is slow as compared to others. Additional device slow down the network. So of course, if there will be much devices, then of course the transmission process will be much. Now another one is ring topology. So in this type of topology, we can see that there is a ring sort of arrangement. So that is why it is called ring topology. Now we can see that each device is connected to again a single cable, and each of the device incorporates a repeater, so that the signals received from the previous end can be regenerated and can further be retransmitted to the another device ahead. Because if one station wants to send to the fifth station, then the information will be passed through multiple other stations, and if are not regenerated, then there will be the chance of signal loss again, the bit loss again. So that is why, in order to integrate to maintain the integrity of the message and to maintain the consistency of the message, we need to regenerate the signal. So that is why repeaters are incorporated in every station. So let us see that point-to-point connection with the two devices on either of the side. So basically herein one device is connected to the adjacent devices, and each device on the ring topology network acts as a repeater also. It transmits the data by passing a token. So token is a series of bits, usually it is of 3 bytes around the network. Now if the token is free, a computer waiting to send the data takes it, attaches the data and the destination's address to the token and sends it. When the token reaches its destination computer, it uses the data and releases the token for another device. So basically herein we use, in such type of arrangement, we are using a token system wherein if one station needs to send the data to some other station, then that token is used. That ensure that the cable is busy in sending the message for some station, and so the other stations cannot send at that particular time the message. So basically one station will be using that token and will be transmitting to the, so the token contains the sender's address and the receiver address. So each station in between that will be passing the message ahead would be acknowledged by that token itself that the message is for that particular receiver, and in such a way when the message is ultimately received by the receiver, the token is then released by the receiver, and then that token can be used by some other station for again transmitting the message. So such kind of mechanism is being used in ring topology. So advantage and disadvantages contain: easy to install, require changing only 2 connections, because if the adjacent devices would be affecting only, and fault isolation is simplified. Now unidirectional traffic and break in ring disable the entire network again. If any sort of failure happens in the ring, then the entire system will have to face the impact and higher implementation cost will be there. So that is all about all the types of topologies. We will see some other techniques of network in the next video. Thank you.